Watch me ride.
Hey everybody. So today I want to talk about the social media problem, and this is something that I've you know, because I used to do social media for work. I've tried to pay more attention to the good and the bad points of social media. Now, obviously, for a lot of us, social media is great fun. You know, you get to chat with people, you get to keep in contact with old friends and family you might not see, you know, through Facebook, because nearly everyone's got Facebook. And it's great for YouTubers like us to keep our followers up to date with stuff and just get a bit of background information and to be there to chat. You know, because I do chat quite a lot through my social media with people, not PMs so much. I try to get back to them, but I normally can be pretty slow. Just the way it is, and YouTube messages, I will point out, I do not use. I say this a lot, but every now and then I notice that people have sent me a message and I haven't seen it for like a month. What the social media problem is that it puts you into an opinion fishbowl of sorts. Basically, because you like things that you like and you don't like things that you disagree with, it stops showing you the things that you don't agree with. So it starts showing more and more of the stuff that you're naturally going to agree with. Now, this is all very well and good when it comes to entertainment and stuff, but when it comes to forming opinions, when it comes to educating yourself about, you know, social subjects, about particularly politically based stuff, if you're, you know, if it's very polarised, because this world, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm sure it's always been this way, but it seems like everyone thinks everything has to be black and white. Everything's polarised. There is either this or there's that. In reality, with everything, there is a whole range between there and there. You know, it's not A and B, it's A and Z. But the way that social media works, and the way the algorithms for it work, is that, you know, it's just going to just show you A, because that's the thing you are agreeing with, or maybe you're more of an E type person, and you're going to see all of that. And that's not a huge problem in itself, until you start to realise that a lot of people these days don't watch TV, they don't read newspapers. Everything they see news-wise, media-wise, is through the internet, it's through social media, through suggested stories, through, well, I mean, you can go to the pages themselves, but generally when you see these news stories, it's linked through some form of social media, and it's encapsulating people in their own little bubbles, and it's I think is not helping the divisions between people, because no one's getting to talk between tribes, as it were. No one's getting to discuss things. Not that you can really discuss anything on the internet, it seems, because you can try and have an intelligent conversation with someone over the internet, and it just never really works. You could do it in person, easy. You know, you and a friend, you might be disagreeing on some section. You can sit there and you could debate each side, and you're not going to start beating each other up. And some of you might see things from their point of view better, and they might see things, and you might find a more of a common middle ground, or you might even find that one of you didn't quite get what the situation was. But if you're one of these social media bubbles, you're never going to get that. And it's worrying for the future of the human race. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge this, to personally acknowledge, I know I'm in this little bubble on social media, and I should put myself outside of that. If I'm going to, you know, you don't have to if you don't want to. What I mean is, like, if there is a news story, for instance, and you feel strongly about it, and you want to give an opinion about it, you're about to say something about it, well, then it's a good idea to look at it from other media outlets, to look at it from other points of view. Because, you know, one person's freedom fighter is another person's suicide bomber. There's always two sides to an argument. You know, it's like, oh, did you hear Terry just punched Paul? Oh my God, that's just horrible. Why would he do that? Oh, Paul's such a nice guy, you know, blah, 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 blah. What if then someone else tells you, well, Paul called him a and then punched him first? How the story is delivered completely changes the outlook of who was at blame and the deep intricacies of it. And that's not just something as simple as someone punching someone. And there's lots of these debates currently going on. You know, you've got people debating Britex, you've got people debating what the government's doing, people debating who should be in charge, people debating gun laws in America, people debating terrorism acts and who's behind it and why is it happening and what can be done. You know, there's so much. This world is so wound up, and it seems like it's really whipped up the people with it, because it seems like the online community, not all of them, but there does seem to be more people that are just flying off the handle at stuff, and just being so strong in their opinion, like they're really hard to this, like, you know, it's the whole, is it A, is it Z, is it B? They are really holding strong to A is the way it is, and I'm not even going to listen to you any other way. There's not much room left on there. One of the reasons why it's particularly bad to have the goldfish bowl effect is when it comes to things like racism and intolerance and hatred for different nationalities or races or religions or etc, etc. Because humans also have a problem, which is in groups we have an effect of diminished responsibility. The more people in a group that are involved in something, the less they individually feel guilt about it, like how they could be held to blame. If it's just one person or two people, you know, it's what it's him or him. When it's a huge group of people, then it's not so bad. And it also is the positive reinforcement of bad things. You know, I think it's true that racists breed racists. Racist behaviour breeds racist behaviour. Because people feel like it's okay. They become part of a group. Once you're a group of people doing something and you're not an individual, at that point, you have the diminished responsibility and people's opinions start to change and they start to think differently because they're in the group mentality, which is a very dangerous thing about humans, because we can be sheep. For people to see that they're wrong in their opinions, they need to have their opinions questioned. And if the social media don't allow people's opinions to be questioned, then, or for them at least to see an opinion from someone who might question their own opinion, then no one's ever going to change their mind and things are just going to become more and more segregated. And I'll pose you this question: do you think social media does more harm or good? Because honestly, I don't know. There's a questionnaire poll thing on the video. Let's have a vote on this, see what you think. Maybe that's human nature, that's maybe just the way that we are. But then I had another thought the other day. Humans have always been at conflict, humans have always been at war with each other. Maybe nature's natural selection way of getting rid of us is with ourselves. In the same way that if you have an overcrowded pond with tadpoles in it, for instance, and there's not enough food for them all, they'll start eating each other. So their own species will curb its own numbers. And maybe that's war for us. Maybe we were always going to be at war with each other, and always will be, because it's the only way that we control our numbers, and it's the byproduct of the way that we won't ever agree on everything. On anything, anything, you know what I mean? I do feel like there's more people out there who think more for themselves and try and see it from all sides, and that is something that is being promoted more and more these days, which is great. But social media has just got such a hold on it. Anyway, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. Catch you next time.